Around 1900, a mathematician, William Thomson, also called Lord Kelvin, said there is nothing new to be discovered in physics. All that remains is more and more precise measurement. Except he didn't say that, and it was actually a physicist about Michelson who said something along those lines. And this is actually what he said. Information has never been easier to access than it is today, and there are very good upsides to that. Like, there are more people that can access information. There's equal opportunity for everyone to be able to access equal, especially with the rate at which technology is advancing. It's very important for people to have knowledge of changes around them. Information can be accessed anytime. Most of us are taking for granted today. However, there's some downside to this, like how privacy is basically non-existent, because information is not just about something or someplace, but it can also be about someone. We all know how the privacy situation is. Also, just like, I don't know, maybe it's an a doctor, but that we are getting dumber as a generation. It can lead to information overload, and information overload is almost as bad as having no information at all. Some of the information that people are consuming may not be facts, but just people's opinions. And then there's this downside I want to focus on, which is my main focus of today's video, which is that access to so much information can actually give the illusion of optimal growth. What do I mean by optimal growth? I mean that when someone believes like they can no longer grow beyond where they are, whatever area, maybe like school, work, because they feel like they have had the highest of the high knowledge and there's nothing more they can do. It gives a lot of diminishing returns. Like, more is not always better. I've seen in the web how most people are complaining and talking about how invest is a scam. This course is this thing I paid for is bad. And let me tell you that almost everything you do in this world, there's a price to pay. If you pay the price for something and you don't get what you want, and you were not delivered, you were not given what you paid for, that is when it's a scam. When it comes to the issue of being educated, not just talking about school, but like in whatever you're doing, I'm going to tell you from a potentially failed student, because I failed myself. The best way to learn has been proven, like most of the times, essentially by doing, by actually doing it. That's the best way to learn most things. I don't know, maybe there are some niche things out there that I don't know that the best way to learn them is by doing them, but the best way to learn most things by doing. That is what most people get wrong. And most of the times, the best ways for schools to be able to test your ability to know if you can be able to apply to real life scenarios is well through tests and exams. So yes, that's the best way they can test your skills. That's why it's called test, because then they can know how you can be able to do it in a real life scenario. Life is often not as it is in book, that is straightforward. It's actually often messy, and it's not how we see it in our textbooks that it is. But that's not the point of the test. The point of test should be that they should be able to know the level of your skill that you can be able to apply in a real life scenario. Imagine this: you want to lose weight or gain muscle. If you don't stay in a calorie deficit, you are not going to lose weight, and if you don't train, you are not going to build muscle, no matter how many videos you watch on eating and dieting and doing this. So the best way to do it is to apply the knowledge. Everything is not immediately applicable in real life. You cannot do everything. So it depends on what you are doing. You have to be able to learn to pick your focus. Pick what you want to focus on. It can be maybe more than one at a time, but you have to pick your focus to know the information that you need, and then you can learn how to apply the information. I may not have the best experience with mentors, but they are still useful. They are like absolutely useful, in helping me, and just knowing and just being able to correct and guide. That's like basically the point of a good teacher or a good mentor. That is what they should be doing, to be able to make the process faster. We have limited time in this world, and wasting time trying in on our own, most of us don't have that luxury. So we should be able. That's why the mentors are there. They've probably done the thing, they have the experience, they know what to do, and they are there to guide you. Not that you're not going to think on your own, you are, but they are still there to guide you. In conclusion, I would say that although basically everything's at your fingertip, I can tell you that there's still more to learn in whatever you're doing. Whether it's your school, your work. I can only think of school and work right now because that's the kind of phase I am right now in my life. Keep learning, stay safe, drink water. Bye.